fascism, as always.
Sure. So, what are some things that the administration's done that you're against?
Deportation, for sure. Everybody belongs there, you know? Nobody's illegal on stolen land.
So, we're both on stolen land?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
We're both on stolen land?
I would say so.
So, are you willing to open your doors to Native Americans who had the land before you?
I'm sorry, I'm very hard of hearing.
Are you willing to open your door for Native Americans who are on the land before you?
Absolutely. I'm all for land back.
So, if they were to take back the land and get in power, you're willing to go back to wherever you came from?
I mean, I'm from here, so where else am I going to go, right?
So where would we go?
Good question. I don't have all the answers, you know?
And your shirt says eat the rich. So how do you feel that the rich employs millions of people in the United States?
Couldn't tell you. I don't have all the answers. I'm going to end this interview, though.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. Today, guys, we're back here into a new video, guys. Today, we're going to check out delusional woman gets comforted on live TV. This is going to be amazing to watch. Let's get right into it, guys.
My 2-year-old son came up to me the other day. I went back home to the UK, and he said, "Daddy, I'm going to have a baby." And I said, "Zach, you can't have a baby because you're a boy. You're a man. You can't have babies." And he said, "Well, I'm going to be a girl. I want to be a girl." What would you have said to him if you were me?
Well, I wouldn't have said, "Zach, you're a boy and boys can't have babies," because that's absolutely not true. So, I mean, I don't know what your parenting is like.
You don't think think boys can have babies?
You mean males?
Yes.
Yes.
You think you think males can have babies?
Yes.
Right.
Do you want me to explain?
Yes, please. Yeah.
So, transgender males have a womb, a uterus, and ovaries. Okay, so they were born, if you like, female, but they actually identify as males, so we refer to them as males. They have ovaries, a womb, a uterus, a vagina, and that means you can carry a baby.
Transgender males being women.
Well, that's extremely disrespectful to transgender males. I don't.
Well, they are women, aren't they? They're biological women.
They are males.
Interesting. So instead of telling my 2-year-old son, as I did, "Zach, you can't have kids. You're a boy."
I think that's sad.
You think that's sad?
I do. I think, if my son...
Do you know what it did? Do you know what it did? He said, "Oh, okay, Daddy, that's fine." And the next day he said, "Daddy, I'm Spider-Man." Would you want me to entertain that conversation and say, "Well, Zach, maybe you are Spider-Man"?
What do you say? "Oh, God, no, not Spider-Man. Oh, God, Zach, you can't be a girl. God, Zach, you can't be Spider-Man." Or can't we just let children explore? 2 is an amazing age to explore. Why aren't we letting our children explore?
Yeah, this woman's actually insane. I'm not even joking. So her company is like a rogue, unregulated clinic, and they've been investigated because what they're doing is dangerous as hell. And they're actually based in Singapore, which is a red flag because it's like a way to avoid regulation. So they can do what they're doing. Because if they'd done this in the UK, they would be shut down instantly.
So in 2024, the High Court ruled...
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, a 15-year-old child was prescribed dangerous levels of hormones by your unregulated online clinic.
Hey, wait.
Without speaking to a doctor.
Where are you getting that one from?
Court transcripts from the High Court.
Which High Court?
In London.
No.
The teenager known as Jay was born female but identifies as a boy and has autism.
That's not UK news. That was an Australian case.
Yeah, it's not UK news, but it's still relevant to her company, right? It says Jay got a prescription for testosterone and puberty blockers from Singapore-owned company Gender GP, which is her company. So I don't know why she's trying to correct him.
Judge Sir Andrew McFarlane said there must be a very significant concern about the prospect of a young person such as Jay accessing cross-hormone treatment from any offshore, online, unregulated private clinic. The judgment in your case, Dr. Helen, says there was no medical examination, blood testing or other clinical evaluation was undertaken. Jay has not had any direct communication with a doctor at any stage during the referral to Gender GP. Your husband, Mike Webberley, is he involved in Gender GP?
No.
No. He's on your website.
Well, he may be from old, but he's not involved.
Why was he struck off?
There were many different reasons in that court case against my husband.
Now, obviously, she's not going to tell you the reason why he was struck off, but let me give you the rundown. Because he wasn't struck off for a small mistake. He was actually struck off for a massive, repeated, dangerous misconduct involving young kids. And he was treating patients outside of his own expertise because he was a stomach doctor, but he was trying to diagnose and prescribe gender treatments, puberty blockers, mental health related decisions to these young kids, where he had no qualifications in any of this. And on top of that, he was prescribing these high risk drugs without proper assessment. They didn't do any blood tests, they didn't monitor the hormone levels, they didn't manage side effects, they didn't even get a specialist second opinion. A lot of this was basically just done online.
He's not here. I think if you want to ask him, you would ask
Well,
him.
the Telegraph reported a reckless doctor, referring to your husband, who wrongly prescribed puberty blockers to a transgender 9-year-old child after a 10-minute chat on Skype, has been struck off. Michael Weberly's treatment of 24 patients was deemed a catalogue of failings between February 2017 and June 2019. That's what the tribunal found.
Well, this is what the Telegraph is reporting, yeah.
Directly from the tribunal.
And also, she said in the full interview that the reason she doesn't have a license is because she didn't renew it, which obviously means she chose not to do it because she knew if she was going to do it, she would have got struck off straight away.
A trans woman says a DeKalb County police officer confronted her for using the women's bathroom at a public library in Tucker, and an internal investigation has now been launched. So here's what Sasha Swinson says happened.
Use the restroom, the women's restroom, like I have been for months, if not years, never had any issue. Says, "Excuse me, sir," so misgendering me right away. "You're not a woman, that's obvious."
Swinson says she tried explaining to the officer that she's a transgender woman, but he got angry.
"This is a police matter. There are women and little girls in there, and I have to protect them."
You can't convince me that you're a woman when you look like Andre the Giant.
Swinson claims to have emailed library officials the next day, who then reached out to DeKalb County Police. Now, there are no Georgia laws banning transgender people from using bathrooms aligning with their gender identity. DeKalb CEO Lorraine Cochran Johnson denounces what happened to Swinson and calls it a teachable moment.
Trump has deported 3.1 million illegal immigrants. What is your take on that?
I think that the world deserves answers, and I think that it's deplorable that the U.S. president is doing that to his own citizens currently.
So what if I told you that actually President Obama deported 3.1 million illegal immigrants and Trump only deported 400,000 so far?
I think that it's a different situation because you're not deporting parents of small children and leaving the children in this country. You're not sending them to concentration camps and alligator Alcatraz and all of that. It's a totally different, inhumane situation.
So Obama did send people to ICE facilities. He used ICE to arrest people and deport them. They were ICE deportations. I mean, it was more or less the same exact process when he did it to 3 million people.
Yes, but it was just a different situation, and it's not being publicized in the same way and made to make people look like criminals and look inhumane.
Where did you learn that the Trump administration was mistreating people? How do you know that?
Because of every single news source that's out there.
CNN. What kind of news do you watch? Like what's your go-to news source?
I watch a lot of like NPR, NBC, ABC News, things like that.
Do you ever watch Fox?
I do not watch Fox.
Okay.
No.
You got to tune in for both sides, I think. At least see what the other side's saying.
To resist fascism, as always.
So, what is some things that the administration's done that you're against?
Deportation, for sure. Everybody belongs there, you know? Nobody's illegal on stolen land.
So, we're both on stolen land?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
We're both on stolen land?
I would say so.
So, are you willing to open your doors to Native Americans who had the land before you?
I'm sorry, I'm very hard of hearing.
Are you willing to open your door for Native Americans who are on the land before you?
Absolutely. I'm all for land back.
So if they were to take back the land and get in power, you're willing to go back to wherever you came from?
I mean, I'm from here, so where else am I going to go, right?
So where would we go?
Good question. I don't have all the answers, you know?
And your shirt says eat the rich. So how do you feel that the rich employs millions of people in the United States?
Couldn't tell you. I don't have all the answers. I'm going to end this interview, though. I think I know what you're doing, so.
Yeah, what he's making you doing is proving that you don't know what you're talking about.
Capitalism is bad. I don't like it.
Yeah, really easy for someone to say that grew up in a really nice house in one of the best school districts in Texas.
I know, but it's
who has the rent paid for, that is able to go to Europe and on a whim with their sister, who's able to do girl math, who's able to be fun employed. Yeah, it's easy to say that the system's bad when you're doing that because you've never had to work for it. You never got to actually see what happens when you put in the work and get benefits and actually have a little bit of responsibility and actually build something or do anything. You've grew up in privilege beyond privilege beyond privilege beyond privilege. It's only the people who speak like you that grew up in a world where you've never had to do a single thing in your life.
That's true.
So I don't want to hear about that. What a joke.
Fuck Charlie Kirk. Like, I'm glad the guy's dead, actually. So
you're glad he's dead?
Yeah, I'm glad.
White men are literally the single greatest threat to humans being fed, housed, clothed, having their basic needs. White men are the greatest threat to that. That's what I know. Everything else, you want me to give you all these statistics and things? Like, I'm not a data analyst. I only know the experiences
What
of
do
the
you think
people
we should
I
do
censor
about
on.
white men?
That's a question for you. Can you do something about your people?
Well, I don't see any problems.
Because you're a white man!
Well, you're also unable to name me an example, right?
The example is you having the privilege to even be out here while there are people sleeping literally next to you, homeless on the ground.
Well, don't you have that same privilege?
No, it's not about the privilege that you're talking about. A privilege as a white man to be able to move about the world and ask people to give you examples about blackness. And I'm saying the example is that you out here recording and these people are out here sleeping. And none of them look like you.
Well, there are homeless people who are white. You know what's crazy? Like, I know this woman's obviously brainwashed, but when you think about what you need in life to succeed, you need accountability, discipline, responsibility, self-awareness, and critical thinking. And people like her have basically been brainwashed to the point where they don't have any of these skills. Yeah. So they've been trained to basically fail in life. And that's what will happen. These people are actually completely useless for society unless they change their mindset, which doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon, does it?
Do you think you have privilege over me?
Yes.
You're crazy. Let's make this absolutely positively clear. You have no privilege over me, and if you got it, show it to me right now.
I think you misunderstood me. I told you that I did not believe in white privilege as a punishment. I just meant it as an acknowledgement.
You're saying that your grandparents had privilege over me?
They had privilege over yours.
No, they didn't. You didn't know my parents. You didn't know my people, so you don't know that. To what end is this? To make white people do what? Make white people say they have privilege, and to what end? So when you start talking about what white people have done to America, it's about what a white person has done. I don't believe in collective punishment.
True.
I'll make you responsible for what you did. I'm not going to hold you responsible for what somebody else did 100 years ago or what somebody else did today. I hold you responsible for your action. You hold me responsible for my action. In the same way that some white people believe that black people are lazy, shiftless, and ignorant and whatnot. That's not me. In the same way that most of y'all believe they're on their knees begging and slobbering and asking for reparations. That's not me. I don't believe in collective punishment. I deal with you as an individual. Therefore, white privilege is a lie. I've asked you very simply to show me the white person that has privilege over me. Nobody stood up.
Very excited for this presentation. I dug into the numbers, and as you can see here, Joey, it looks like you're frozen. You're frozen, Joey. Rich, do you know what he's...
Yeah. I'd love to pop it. I mean, I've been working on this all week long.
Okay. You're not... your fan's still moving, idiot. You're not frozen. What the hell, man?
I guess I'll just jump in. I don't know what's going on today, but it seems pretty clear that we need it.
Wow. I think... Joey, I can see Holly walking around behind you. You weren't even frozen. You guys are morons. I don't think
you know what? They're having connectivity issues. I'm happy to take over. I do know all the numbers.
Mason, you're watching The Professor. I can see it on in the background behind you. And Timmy's eating chips. What the f***?
Nelson Scott is on the verge of losing access to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. He is 38, not disabled, doesn't have any kids, doesn't go to school, and doesn't have a job. Those are just some of the reasons he is no longer eligible for SNAP benefits.
How much did SNAP help you?
It helped me a lot. I get $292 a month.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture crackdown is led by President Trump, who signed the One Big Beautiful Bill into law in July. The government shutdown stalled the November 1st deadline for implementation. However, these changes are still coming up.
We help.
Signe Anderson is a senior director of nutrition advocacy with the Tennessee Justice Center.
Because of rules like this, we can see individuals that are going to be forced to skip meals.
She points out senior citizens and children between the age of 15 and 18 will be most impacted. Rick Williams is a conservative political analyst.
A 15 or 16-year-old can take care of themselves at home while you go work. There's no reason you can't be working. There are plenty of jobs out there.
Scott tells me as a convicted felon, getting a job isn't easy.
I will get one if y'all give me one. Y'all be felony friendly and hire us.
The Tennessee
Hey, I have a question. The front doors are locked here.
Yeah, what do you need?
I'm trying to get to the queer self-defense class.
Okay, around the corner.
So the south side of the building, is that?
Yeah.
Okay, and it said on the flyer, trans folks fight for free.
Yeah, you're trans.
I'm trans-indigenous.
You're what?
I'm trans-indigenous. My parents, bigoted doctor, assigned me white skin at birth, but I identify as a brown-skinned native.
Dude, get out of here.
Well, are you trans-native phobic?
No.
Well, then what's the problem?
Do you know how confusing this is to people and how you're making a mockery out of natives?
Well, that's ironic, don't you think?
No, we are protecting people here with self-defense.
And I want to participate.
No.
I'm a native. Trans natives are natives, and this is our land.
Dude, I'm calling the cops. Get
Don't misindigenate me. I am not a dude.
Get out of here.
Why are you being trans-native phobic right now?
Please leave.
No. This is my land, and you're trespassing. You're cis-American, so how about you leave?
I need you to leave the property now.
No. What are you going to do?
I'm calling the police.
You're going to call the police on me because I'm a trans-native man of color?
You're mocking people.
That's a hate crime.
No, what you're doing is a hate crime.
Call the police then. It's really sad you're being trans-native phobic right now.
Dude,
Folks, this individual is being trans-native phobic. I'm trying to get into a queer self-defense class, and this is how they treat trans people of color. Really sad. I hope you should be proud of yourself for being trans-native phobic.
You should be ashamed of what you're doing.
Really sad. Trans-natives are
You
natives.
need to leave.
So they create these weird rules, but then when you use them rules, they don't like it.
I feel like if you're quiet when so many injustices are happening, not just here, but Palestine, Sudan, Congo, etc. I literally blocked my brother yesterday. I'm not speaking to my mom, my stepmom, my dad. I'm collecting them like Pokemon. But I just think that you have to stand for something, and I think as you get older or mature, you have to stand for what matters to you.
You don't stand at all.
And I understand that there's like safety concerns, and I have a lot of privilege as a cis white woman saying those things.
Privilege? Privilege, she says. What exactly is the privilege that you have? If this is privilege, I don't want it. You seriously think that you are viewed as superior based on your race? That is not the righteous self-dig that you think it is, lady. In fact, I think you're literally a racist, because if you seriously think that you're viewed as supreme on any level by anyone in any regard, you are deluded. You couldn't oppress somebody if you wanted to. If anything, I'm the privileged one. I'm actually starting to feel bad. I wish you had what I have. No, I'm seriously about to get down on one knee and raise a fist, because this is horrible. How do we help?
Yeah, she's basically like encouraging people to cut off family members if you don't have like the same beliefs, which is pretty dumb. The whole point of life is you're going to have different beliefs, and that's not really a reason to cut them off. Like, that's pretty dumb. Unless they're maybe as extreme as this person here.
Do you want a New York that's safe? Do I look like I've ever been in physical danger? No, you look like you could harm quite a few people. You for included, sure. yeah. What feelings do I stir in you?
I hate white people.
Do you hope one day you won't have to have a job?
Yeah, I'm already unemployed.
How long you been unemployed for?
20 years.
This wokester admits, brags, and boasts on camera committing a crime, violating the Civil Rights Act of 1964, of discriminating on white people and overcharging them just because they're white. Oh, and let me add, she's married to a white man named Billy. Typical.
I love to overcharge white people and organizations and do pro bono work for black orgs.
I wonder, does she overcharge her white husband named Billy?
And that's just me being very blunt. I will give them ridiculous rates.
The race baiters were right. This country is terribly racist. It's just not in the way that they keep telling us on MSNBC and that racist show The Spew.
And then I'll have like a nonprofit or a black org or somebody doing some work, and they'll be like, I've only got this much money. And I'm like, keep it.
Imagine if the roles were in reverse.
A white person just cut me a check. Let's do this for free.
Let me be very clear. Black people can be racist. Anybody can be racist. Racism is not a one-direction street. It's a human flaw. It's not a whites-only membership. If you charge people just because they're white, that is not justice. That is racist. I don't care if you black, brown, purple, or whoever you are. Racism doesn't change its name just because the skin color of the offender did. And bragging about it on camera, congratulations. You just became the very thing that we once hated, and that is a racist ass.
This entire video was actually interesting to watch. I do enjoy every moment of it. Like, when he talks about delusion, a lot of people are delusional, especially those people who feel like they are, how should I put it? They are the victim. These black people feel like the victim. I don't know why they keep on doing that. People who are racist, but they act as if they're not racist. Some black people who are racist, they feel like as a black, you can't be racist, whereas it's a very stupid statement to say. Being a racist is not about one direction. Anyone can be a racist. Either you bring brown, purple, white, black, you can be a racist. Do you understand? And also some delusional people who feel like they're in the wrong body, who believe in puberty blockers. Like the rate of delusion we're having in America now, is very high. It's very high, and I'm scared to raise a child in America. Like seriously. Oh, when your male child tell you, "Oh, daddy, I can give birth," you do not correct them. People are telling you, "No, don't correct them. They can give birth as a man." It's a delusional statement. So as a right parent thinking straight, you correct them. As a man, you can give birth. Simple. Because the same child that tell you that will come and tell you, "Oh, daddy, I'm Superman. Oh, daddy, I'm Spider-Man." You understand? It's nature. Children joke around with words. Do you understand? So when the child is not thinking straight, that's what they child. They're not grown enough to make some certain decision for their own self until they're 18 and above. Do you understand? So when the child tell you this, you tend to correct them as an adult. That's why you're an adult in their life. You tend to correct them. The Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child. It's simple. When you don't correct the child grew up to think otherwise. Comment down below what you think about this video. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video to as many as you can. Subscribe to our channel, guys. I will definitely see you guys in the next video. Make sure you stay safe.